Chapter 21-24. For ordinary people, 2 or 3 billion is indeed a sky-high price, but for Watanabe, it is only 1% or 2% of all his assets. Let any person who loses his male prowess spend 1% or 2% of his total assets to regain the coveted ability. I believe that no man in the world will refuse. Watanabe was also very excited at this time and blurted out, "Mr. Anderson, don't you know how long I can maintain this ability?" Alex smiled slightly. "It must be enough to maintain for 20 years. By that time, you are nearly 70 years old, and you could be considered old and healthy. If you maintain yourself properly, it may not be impossible to maintain it to your 70s. Watanabe's face flushed with excitement, his fists clenched, and his voice was a little trembling, and said, 20 years? I dare not even dream of this. It is great, really great." Takiko on the side said, "Shinwa, since Mr. Anderson has helped you make up for your shortcomings, let Xingshi bring Miss Adair back. You can sign the contract first." Yes, Watanabe said without hesitation. "Sign. Must sign." Takiko Ito nodded, took out his cell phone, called Xingshi, and said, "Xingshi, you and Miss Adair will come back. We have to have dinner." "Okay, father." Not long after, Xingshi walked back with Faria. At this time, Faria was still holding a small khaki milk dog in her arms. The puppy was crawling around in her arms at this time, appearing to be very intimate with her. Xingshi Ito smiled and said, "Xiaoyu and Sister Faria are very fond of each other and have been stuck to each other, so Sister Faria wants to take it back to Oris Hill." Faria caressed the little milk dog in her arms lovingly and said to Alex, "Master, Xiaoyu is a little girl. She seems to like me very much, and I like her very much, so I want to take her back to Japan. Don't you know if it is inconvenient?" Alex smiled and said, "What is inconvenient? We 2 big living people can smuggle back. Not to mention a little milk dog. The space on the boat is very large. I am afraid that 100 dogs can be held." Takiko also nodded again and again, and said with a smile, "The boat I prepared for the 2 is indeed very large, and dozens of people are not even enough." Faria was overjoyed and smiled softly. "Then I will take Xiaoyu back," Xingshi Ito hurriedly said. "Sister Faria, I will ask someone to prepare some dog food for you. At night, you and Master can take it directly on the boat." Faria nodded and thanked. "Thank you so much, Xingshi." Xingshi Ito blinked and smiled. "Sister Faria, don't be so polite." Faria said, "Xiaoyu is leaving with me. Would you miss it?" Xingshi quietly glanced at Alex's face and said with a smile, "If I want to see it, I will come to Oris Hill, and I can also see my sister and Master." In fact, it was Alex that Xingshi wanted to see most. However, she knew very well in her heart that Alex was a married man after all, and he traveled all the way to see what he said. Therefore, when Faria takes the puppy to Oris Hill, she can at least borrow the reason to see Alex in Oris Hill. Although this rhetoric is more or less trivial, at least it can be regarded as not inappropriate. Faria was also aware of it at this time, and she couldn't help sighing. Xingshi, such a tender little girl, was completely captured by Master. "I really don't know how Master will pay these peach blossom debts in the future." At this moment, she felt a little bit of distress for Xingshi and also a little distress for herself. Although the 2 had just met for a while, deep in her heart, she felt a real pity for the same illness.